All right. We are live.
Looking at my gallery. I said, man, my gallery's dead. I need some nudes, man. Where are my nudes at?
Do you find that women send you nudes pretty readily?
A few years ago, yes. Not too much now.
Yeah. I think there's a lot more hesitation nowadays.
Yeah, I used to get them all the time. I used to love it too. Just random breast shots and ass shots and pussy shots. Oh,
like
man.
when I think back to the nudes I sent, I'm like, oh my gosh. Where are they now?
Saving someone to spunk bank. For sure.
I do know my ex still has some pictures of me. He showed me last time I went home to DC, and I was like, please delete those. He was like, never. He was like, never, bitch. I was like, oh, God.
I'm never deleting mine.
I regret the day I sent them.
I got a little folder and everything.
Oh, you have a keepsafe? I have keepsafe.
Yeah, keepsafe is where it's at.
Keepsafe is where it's at.
I have
dicks in my keepsafe.
I'm sure you do. You know, our phones have secure folder files.
I know, but I don't trust it. I like keepsafe.
Yeah, you don't trust it?
What's KeepSafe?
It's an app. It's basically like a.
Is it a cloud app? Like can you get to the pictures from somewhere else? Because that's what I had a problem with the secure folder. If something happened to the phone, them pictures is gone.
Yeah, I have. I don't. You have yours like separated by.
Yours
like I don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
We just sitting here talking about the nudes we got in our phones. You know what I'm saying? Our collection of dick pics and pussy pics and breast
I don't have
shots.
any nudes in my phone.
So she said, "Sending her."
You got dick pics though.
Much.
You got dick pics.
No, I don't have any dicks in my phone.
Oh, you be deleting them? She be like, delete. Not good enough.
I only keep the big ones.
Oh, okay. Yes, I mean.
DJ. Wait, I think I know her. No.
Well, I recognize that vagina.
You might.
I know those breasts.
Vagina.
You might. No, I don't know. I don't think I have anyone that you know.
I think mine are mostly of me, honestly.
There's nothing wrong with that either, though. Someone asked me the other day. She was like
videos and stuff. Let me see.
My friend was like, she was like, you never send me.
Mine are mostly me, but there are a couple of dicks in there.
Yeah, you got a few up in there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You gotta save them. Gotta have something to spank too. I had a friend ask me. She was like, "Why you never send me any news?" I said, "Honestly, I don't really think I'm hot." And I said, "I don't think women want to see a male's body the way men want to see women's body." You know, but I guess it just depends on
most of
woman.
the dick pics I've received were unsolicited dick pics.
Yeah,
I think it was mostly like men that were just very proud of themselves in that moment and were like,
"Put it on the table. Let me
show you. Let me show you what I'm working with.
Let me show you what I got."
100%.
I feel like that's rude to send it unsolicited.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Very
But y'all don't really ask for things like that.
No, we don't.
So like that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, it can be pervy.
I'm gonna show you this dick if you don't.
Right. It can definitely be pervy.
I had a friend that said that they prefer videos than the dick pic.
I love videos.
Videos are way better.
But only of the men they're obviously interested in. You know,
I love videos. I like home videos.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an amateur porn kind of guy.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
it has to be on my phone. I don't.
Oh, you mean you like making them?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never actually made one.
What were you talking about?
Like watching like amateur.
Oh, I love watching amateur homemade porn.
Yeah.
That's the best. I don't like the cheesy fake acting and all the fake boobies and stuff. Like I prefer, like I want to see real bodies and
real people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
over here on purpose.
Yeah. Oh no, I just put it over there away from everything. Because that's the real question for me is like, who phones are going to go on? If I'm going to make it, who phone does it go on? Who's going to keep it?
Mine.
You know?
That's the rule.
I want to make one.
It's fun. It is sexy, like to go and watch it.
Watch it back.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get this show started.
Let's do a podcast.
Oh my gosh, I feel super squeaky. Oh my God.
Take a seat and put your feet up. We gon' meet up. Sit with me and sip some tea with Remy Mulatto. Give me bottles of Hennessy and Moscato. They had enough already, but there's plenty to follow. I stay poetic, but Jay poetic, remaining effective. Conversation getting heavy, staying respected, playing the record, maintaining collective. Saying what you think, it ain't no place for rejection. I claim it, I meant it. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. So tell me what you think. It's talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Welcome to our Method Podcast. I'm Jay Noetic.
I'm Remy Mulatto.
I'm Cass.
And y'all know that I like to bring the content.
You know I bring the chaos.
I bring the balance.
And with that, we believe the best way to have truthful conversations
It's to have mostly everybody
Talking honestly.
over motherfucking drinks.
Cheers.
Welcome
You drinking
to
on something for real?
No.
Welcome to the final episode of season 3.
Season 3.
What up,
final
TJ?
episode.
Final episode, man.
Episode 15.
And then we're gonna be on. We don't really know yet. Maybe
Little
a
hiatus.
month and a half break, maybe longer. We're gonna
Come
figure it
back
out.
sometime
Long,
after Valentine's Day, probably.
Yeah, take a little break, kind of relax.
Wow.
Cass, how did you enjoy being on the season?
I really enjoyed it.
We enjoyed having you. It was a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed getting to know you more.
Listen.
Honestly.
What took so long?
Jay, I've been known.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm just like
But-
chopping liver over here.
But I
So
gotta
we
tell
best
you,
friends now?
we're best friends
Okay,
now.
good.
But I
Okay.
gotta tell you, I would only do this for you guys because Jay knows me. When it comes to like committing to things,
It's a commitment.
I'm like,
Right.
But
I think. Well, we enjoyed having
enjoyed
you.
it.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. I really did.
Okay.
I really did.
What did you enjoy most about doing the podcast? For a full 15 episodes, what did you enjoy? Because you had your own podcast for a little while with you, our friend Ebony. And so you had experience with podcasting.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I got to see a different side of you and I got to learn more about you. That's what I enjoyed the most
Right on.
with
Right
just
That's
each
what's
topic.
up.
I walked away feeling like I learned something new every time about you guys.
on. Yeah. But-
That's what I like.
Judging us a little bit.
so I'm
no,
sure.
judgment free zone.
It is a judgment free.
No, it's fine if you judge me a little bit. And I'm sure we're gonna have you again on again
Yes,
soon. But
absolutely.
outside of that, you better not be no stranger now. You know what
I
I'm saying?
know. I won't be. First of all, we live 2 buildings away from each other. So it's kind of sad that
Yeah,
it took that
it's
long
about
for us to
time.
get together. But
Cass be her own little world. She don't be inviting nobody out or nothing, but it's all good.
God, y'all are talking so bad about me in front of the audience.
We love you though. We love you. We love you. Hey, I'm the only one drinking tonight. I'm drinking this beer called Victory Berry Monkey Fruited Sour Triple. It's 9.5% alcohol.
Is that an IPA?
It is
It don't say
not
IPA.
the IPA. It's just okay. If y'all,
It's just
I mean,
okay.
it's better off the tap. Go get it from World of Beer. That's where I was drinking it from.
We need one of these local what do they call them? That makes beer.
A
Craft
brewery?
Yeah, one of these breweries to like, you know what I'm saying, sponsor us or something like that. Like come through, give us some.
For sure, for
They're
sure.
popping up all over the place. There's some
That's when I'll start
that
drinking
open
again.
like West Tampa, Seminole Heights.
Yeah.
That would be an idea.
What's up, TJ? We miss you too, girl.
Aw.
All right, man. I think it's time for us to get into what we normally do.
Let's do it.
Let's get into what we call Method Movie. All right, man. So last week I thought I was going to stump them, and Cass knew that shit before it even got to like a
Proud
second.
moment.
I'm not doing rom-coms no more. No more. It is what it is. This week, so in case you don't know, I'm gonna play a movie clip for the table and for the method heads. Y'all need to know or try to guess the movie before them and for each other. Y'all know the whole spiel. I think this one's gonna be easy. I feel like it's gonna be easy.
Right.
We'll see how it goes. What movie is this?
It's this time. I mean, marriage is sacred. My folks been together 35 years. It means something to me. I hear that. Besides, marriage is gonna curb that appetite for more women.
I want to
case y'all
say it, but
didn't
I don't
know,
want to say it.
Marriage.
What y'all think in the comments?
Secure the promiscuity. In what world?
I know what it is.
You said that, man. Oh, God damn, man.
The Best Man?
You would have never known that
Correct.
you graduated.
It is the best man. It is the best man. That's gonna play for a couple more seconds
It's
here.
time for everything, players. We're in the real world now, man. The real world Real things.
Such a great movie.
I don't give a damn what y'all say. Ain't nothing natural about no monogamy. I mean, God did not intend for us to be with just one person.
Tell him.
If he had, he wouldn't have given us all this sperm.
You tell him.
These
You
bitches
tell
would not outnumber us the way that they do.
Okay.
I love Terrence Howard's character in this movie.
I love
in this
his
whole
character.
series.
Bullshit artist.
Thank you.
Look, this is the best man. This is the very first one. This is the scene where they were sitting around the card table talking about marriage, obviously. And this is the part when Lance feels like his woman had never been with anyone else. But Terrence
Little did he know.
Little did he
Spoiler alert.
know. Little did he know.
Spoiler alert
He
if
was
you haven't
quite
seen
arrogant,
it.
wasn't he?
Yeah. And
If I haven't
so,
seen The Best Man, go watch that shit immediately.
so Best Man came out in 1999. The box office sales was $34.5 million. What do you think the budget was?
Couldn't have been more than like maybe 10 million, something like
I was
that.
gonna say 8.
Good guesses. Y'all both for one off. It was $9 million.
Ah.
So the budget was $9 million. They did $34.5 million. This was 24, to make you feel old, this was 24 years ago.
Golly.
That's a whole child. That's a whole child that is about to be able to rent
Woo!
vehicles
24
out of
years
college.
ago.
Goddamn.
1999. Where were you in 1999?
I had just graduated high school.
Yeah,
Literally, I'm a graduating class of 1999.
I was a junior.
I was
You were
moving to
doing-
the burbs in high school.
Mm. What are your thoughts on the Best Man series? The best. So I say series, I mean the Best Man Holiday,
And the Best Man Final Chapters.
Best Man Final Chapters.
So the final chapters, I'm not gonna lie, when I first started watching it, I was like, this is a little corny. It
Right.
felt like they were trying a little too hard, all of the actors. And I was like, oh my God, they're gonna ruin it. But then the storyline got better for me, like
Yeah.
in the middle. And so then I enjoyed it. But the Best Man Holiday was probably my favorite one out of all.
Really?
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was so sad.
That's
though.
that's
It
what
was
part of what
so
was good about it.
sad. It
That
was
was one of the
sad.
few
But it
movies
was
that made me
so
cry like
good.
back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the scene in that movie where what's his name? His
Morris
wife died.
Chestnut.
When he cried,
Oh,
I
yeah.
cried. I was like,
That
yeah, I
was
feel
so
you. I feel you,
sad.
man.
What did you think of the series? Or I know we would call it series
I call it a
because there's
series.
episodes.
The
It's a
episodes.
series,
Yeah.
more or less.
So out of all three of those, the Best Man Final Chapters was my favorite
Really?
Yeah. because when Best Man came out, it's 1999. I'm only 17, 18.
Yeah.
It's good, but I don't really understand everything, right?
Yeah.
And then the Best Man Final Chapters, I'm 41, about to be 42. I understand
Yeah.
the struggle of trying to maintain your friendships, trying to work through the shit you have in your friendships. It just hit a little bit differently.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
You know?
That part is what fucked me up because I'm like, these people got so much more money than I do. I can't relate to nothing in the show. Like, it was just making me mad the whole time. I think I texted you about it.
Remy texted me. He was like, "This show reminds me that I'm broke."
It's like, damn, I'm not doing good
Yeah.
enough. But granted, they all in their like 50s or like late 40s and mid 50s. So it's like, all right, whatever.
I liked though that it showed a different side. So I felt like the Best Man Holiday, they just kind of showed everybody was doing well, right? Everybody was just at the height of their career, well, except for Lance, of course, and Mia, but just living good lives. The Best Man Final Chapters, I felt like it showed a little bit of midlife crisis
For
happening.
sure.
Some
Menopause.
downfalls in relationships. I
yeah.
was not expecting the whole Sinai thing, Sinai and him to.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
I
gosh,
did not like
sorry.
that. I did not-
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoiler
I
alerts.
did not like her character at all.
I was very
Her
upset
character has
with
never
the
been
way
very good.
they did her
Yeah.
character in the chapter.
Somebody had to be the villain. Someone had to be the villain.
They
She was the villain.
really made her the villain.
I mean, depending
Yeah.
on, your perspective, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Because you could be like, he wasn't doing his part or whatever.
Harper was selfish. Harper was definitely selfish.
He was
in a lot
ambitious.
Of ways.
But he was trying
Yeah.
to
He was
provide for
successful.
for his family.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he was
Yeah.
really doing anything wrong except being successful. You know what I mean? So
That's true.
and
That's a good way to look at
and
it.
to me, I look at that as like they just kind of weren't on the same level in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well,
So she kind of just felt like she needed more, and she wanted it from him rather than like getting it from herself.
Well,
I
you know,
guess.
Hopper and Robin is supposed to be together, right? Robin is
Jordan.
Jordan.
I'm sure. I'm
Jordan
surprised they
supposed
didn't
to be
play that up
together.
more.
I'm surprised they didn't play that up more either, because I think their idea of success was much more aligned.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they complement each other
Yes.
in much better ways as like people who are just running for whatever they want. What I didn't really like the first 2 episodes because it played out like it played like as if they were making it a movie and they just didn't finish it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The end of the second episode was like, oh, okay, that's just a wrap. Okay. And then they move on to the next part of the story. But it's like, this is like an unfinished movie. So I think they were probably shooting a movie and then they were like, well, fuck it, let's make it a series. And then they just wrapped it.
I agree. The first few episodes felt off to me. It took me a minute to like really get into it.
I didn't mind them leading with Terrence Howard character. I thought it was so overall, I thought it was well. I thought it was good. So a couple things happened in 1999.
The world did not end.
That's true. The Y2K.
Like we all thought.
PayPal was voted one of the worst business ideas in 1999.
Somebody was wrong.
Holy
Somebody was wrong.
Yeah.
And at the time it was just paying for stuff online. Is that was that the business model?
Yeah. DVDs phased out the VHS tapes. Napster was launched in 1999.
Napster. Oh,
remember Napster? Napster.
That shit was crazy.
And believe it or not, I did not know this. The euro was introduced to the world. So like the euro currency, there was no standardized currency in European countries until 1999.
Wow.
So think about the second leading currency in the world is barely 24 years old.
Holy cow.
Right? It's
That's
crazy.
wild.
All right. Well, I guess let me give, I mean, Remy knew it too, but I'll give both of y'all a hand clap. Let me find a hand clap.
Yay.
There your hand clap.
I almost said, why did I get married? Because I was
Someone else
just watching
said
it
that
before
too.
I got here.
Why did I get married? Have I seen
I
that?
love Why
I've
Did I
seen
Get
that.
Married? That's another good.
That's a rom-com. Remy, let's get into the Method Weekly.
Do the Method Weekly.
Y'all damn winners. All right.
Stinky.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
It is.
Is it? I'm glad you did it that way.
Towards Remy.
Now I smell it.
So the Method Weekly, man. We want to talk briefly about some stuff that's been in the news. Golden Globes was yesterday. Golden Globes. Did y'all watch it?
I did not.
I didn't watch
Who
it
were
either.
like the big winners? Oh,
I didn't watch it either. I'm hoping y'all watched it. When the last time y'all? I think I stopped watching award shows a long time ago. It's been at least probably 7 years since I watched one.
Yeah, like I used to watch the Oscars a lot.
Award show in 24 years, probably.
It's been a long time.
I heard Eddie. Well, Eddie had a good joke at the end. He was saying how he's been in the industry for 41 years. 46 years in the industry, 41 years as an actor. He said, I had the blueprint. He said, it's a blueprint for being successful in Hollywood. He said, here's the blueprint. He said, if you follow these rules, you absolutely will be successful. He said, 1, pay your taxes. He said, 2, mind your business. And 3, keep Will Smith's wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Nice.
So everyone started busting out laughing.
That's good.
So yeah, I thought that was funny. So yeah, I haven't watched Golden Globes though. I heard it was good. I heard Rihanna. I heard they all look sexy.
Of course,
you know, but I don't really want to watch actors getting these rewards. Like you're already being rewarded for the movies. I'm not gonna sit down and watch.
And I feel like I can just easily read about it if I'm not interested.
Right. Yeah, if something
who
happened,
are the big winners?
The way the social media and the news and everything is set up. If something happens that's actually interesting, you'll hear about it. Like that Kanye
That's
shit.
so
I didn't see that live. I heard about that the next day.
Yep, that's very true.
Yeah.
So some of the winners, I just don't know. I mean, I can't really pronounce their names, so I'm not even gonna try to do it because I know I'm gonna fuck it up. But y'all can look it up yourselves. Just check it out. Golden Globe was yesterday. So something else that's in the news is nurses in New York are striking. Do strikes work?
I don't know.
Do strikes work?
I don't know if they. I mean, I feel like they should or they would at a job. You know what I mean? Like if enough people do it. because you can't lose your whole workforce. You just got to get enough people behind it. That's what a union is for.
Yeah. So the nurses are striking because they feel like they're not properly compensated and understaffed. They've been severely understaffed since the pandemic. A lot of nurses have either moved to becoming traveling nurses, or they have left the industry altogether. And so the nurses in New York feel like they are again understaffed, and that it's affecting the patients because they aren't getting the service that they want. So they're striking right now. So I don't know if strikes work. I guess in that sense, if you don't have the workers, you need to get them back in the building. I guess it does work.
In that particular case, like what can really be done? Because don't nobody want that job. I mean, after like what happened with the pandemic and the fact that these people are underpaid and working too many hours as it is, nobody wants to do it.
Well, I think
people that are doing it being overworked.
I think people will do it if you pay better. The money always talks.
Yeah.
Money always talks.
Yeah, but
I know,
unfortunately,
traveling nurses get paid bang.
Right. That's the thing right there. So the only way that money kind of can talk in capitalism is if there's a demand. So in order for them to get paid more, hospitals and stuff like that have to cost more, which is already a problem. Like healthcare already costs too much. So
I never hear about like teacher strikes a lot.
Teachers strike.
They do.
They should
strike.
be striking
they
like crazy.
Ebony asked, "Do we have a call-in option?" Ebony, normally we could call in, but I don't know if you would get off. You might go in and go in.
Well, you can just come on the show, all right?
You could be on the show.
I know. Y'all should have Ebony on the show. She would be good.
Ebony got commitment issues. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Ebony, I did not say that.
I'm joking.
Telling all Ebony's business.
She's actually doing really well, so she got commitment issues. I was just joking. And the last thing in the news is extreme flooding in California.
Yes.
Do y'all think this is signs of extreme climate change? Because Cali had a mega drought, and now they're having a massive flooding.
I fully believe in climate change. Absolutely. My brother is actually experiencing flooding in his area, and he sent me pictures, and it was insane. Like the first day, the water in his neighborhood got up to like his mailbox.
Oh, wow.
And then after a few days, like when all the water finally receded, it just looked like a mudslide had gone through his block. I mean, it was just mud everywhere. And that was before they had like a second round of rain, like 2 days later.
And he got more coming this weekend, so he's all right though. He's
doing good. Like everything's fine. Their house was a little bit elevated, so they're fine right now. But he's a firefighter, so I'm sure he's answering a lot of calls.
Yeah.
Right now, but poor Cali, man. I just feel like one day that whole state's gonna fall off into the ocean.
Yeah, it's like a whole nother world over there.
Yeah.
But hopefully everyone. I think they've had like 17 deaths because of the flash flooding. So, but yeah, climate change is definitely real. I think it is definitely what we're seeing happening with these drastic changes all of a sudden is part of it.
Absolutely.
Remy, any thoughts on that? And Ebony, I would say call my number, or I'll get up my number. I don't want to get my number out. So tell me what you want to call in about. And we'll put our brains together.
We had a number, remember?
Really?
I know we did. I had a number.
Really?
I created a Google account. And it was not.
So there was something else in the news, but it's kind of sad.
What's that?
The 6-year-old shooting his teacher. Y'all hear about that?
I didn't hear about that. What happened?
Yeah, there was
I
don't know what state or anything, because I don't really know stuff. I just hear stuff. But there was a 6-year-old who shot his fucking teacher. So obviously in that case, if something like that happens, what is supposed to happen? Like, what is the mitigating factor? Do you arrest the parents? Like, do you throw the kid in something? What do you do? How do you fix it?
He or she is 6.
Ebony, you can call in and say hi to us. Go ahead. You know my number. Call my number. It'll come through. We'll hear it all.
So what I was telling my girl when she told me about this was that if something like that happens, like, I mean, who else is at fault besides the parents? You know what I mean? Aside from just the gun control issue in this country.
Yeah, like how did he even get the gun? Why was it not secured?
It has to be secured. If you got guns and you got kids, or even if you don't got kids, if you live near kids, because listen, kids get into shit. That's what they do. That's what they're there for half the time. So like, you got to put your shit up.
Especially little boys.
Yeah, little boys.
I would say in that case, hold the parents accountable for sure.
Yeah.
Whatever sentence you would have doled out to a person old enough to handle, obviously a 6-year-old is not in the space to do that, then parents.
Yeah.
There was talk. I don't know what state it was of talking about holding the mass shooters' parents accountable as well, charging them.
I heard about that.
And so, like, if they are 17, 18, or whatnot, and they go out and kill somebody, then they start leaving the charge to the parents. I mean, you got to start putting responsibility somewhere. We can't just turn a blind eye to it because it does start in the home. But at the same time, I think our gun laws are so lax. It's almost impossible to stop completely. But it's unfortunate that a 6-year-old killed the teacher. How does a 6-year-old
even have
the knowledge to do it?
Yeah.
So I was listening to them talk about that, and they talked about another case where like a 8-year-old shot a 7-year-old, and they were talking about like, can a family heal from that kind of thing? And apparently that was something that happened a while ago, and they kind of have moved on and figured out how to, like, you know, have that kid just be semi-normal, grow up into like a person. So it's crazy. Crazy country.
I mean, at a 6-year-old, a kid doesn't really know what death is and life is.
I don't know. You got to know. If you get a gun and you put it on somebody, you got to know what you're doing.
That's
like, you got to have an idea.
Like, this child had enough wits about him to take the gun, pack it somewhere, store it somewhere, go to school. Right? He's talking about the school. Good shot. And shoot the teacher.
And at the very least, if nobody told you or nobody around you told you, you probably saw it in a movie. I mean, look how much violence we see in this country anyway. So you at least know, oh, okay, so this is how it's done.
Very.
So if you got some violent tendencies and ain't nobody looking after you, it's a wrap. It's crazy.
It's sad.
Method heads, do y'all have anything in the news that y'all want us to talk about? Slide in the DM. Tell us what it is. Let us know in the comments. Maybe we'll bring it up. All right, man. I think it's time that we get into what everyone came here to hear and talk about.
It feels early. We getting into it already?
We getting into it at the 30-minute mark.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get into the method message. So last week we did the episode of love languages, and we talked about love languages, and I talked about it on social media, and a lot of my friends was like, "Oh, you should do an episode on attachment styles." And so I figured it would be a good conversation. I threw it out to Cass and Remy, got their thoughts. They said, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Let's talk about it."
We dipped our toe into this subject once upon a time, but I don't think we did a whole episode.
No, we didn't do a whole episode at all. And so we're talking about attachment styles, right? And so attachment styles in the 1960s, which is another problem I have with this attachment style theory, is that it's so long ago. Psychiatrist John Bowlby formulated attachment theory after studying how infants reacted when separated from their primary caregivers, usually their mothers. He then classified their behaviors by assigning each an attachment style, meaning a pattern in the way a person relates to others. According to his theory, there are 4 types of attachment styles. Do y'all want to talk about what those are?
Let's cycle through them. So the one I feel like I identify with the most is the anxious preoccupied. And that one is relationships can often make you feel anxious, unsafe, or insecure because you likely have subconscious fear of abandonment. As a result, you seek more closeness in your relationships and can feel afraid if you sense a loved one is pulling away.
Okay, what's the other ones?
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah, let's just name them all, then we'll talk about them.
Fearful avoidant is another one. Relationships can feel chaotic, confusing, and overwhelming because you swing between being avoidant and being anxious. Depending on the relationship, you can shift between being hot and cold, often feeling confused about your feelings.
Y'all can read them because I don't have.
Go, Remy.
Okay,
go.
so dismissive avoidant is intense emotions can feel overwhelming and can cause you to pull away from others. You may find yourself withdrawing from arguments or triggering situations. This need for independence can cause challenges in your relationships and inner conflict for you because deep down you want to connect with others. That is my fiance.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's interesting that there was 2 avoidant types.
Yes.
You know, what's the other one? What's the last one?
Securely.
The last one is Mr. J Noetic.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
That's securely attached.
That's Cass too, though.
Yeah, that was my top one too.
That was yours too. Everybody's healthy in here except me.
You often
I'm the only one with problems. All right, go ahead.
you often feel comfortable and at ease in relationships. You're also good at communicating your needs and feelings and feel open to vulnerability in your relationships. However, sometimes you can experience difficulty when relating to those who aren't as secure in relationships.
Makes sense.
That wasn't
makes perfect sense.
That wasn't me 10 years ago. I'll tell you that right now.
It took some time to get there, huh?
Uh-huh.
What about
sure.
you? You
For
wasn't like
sure.
that before either, right?
For sure.
Hell
What you feel like you
no.
were before?
Oh, I can tell
I
you what
would-
I was.
Like your previous one, what was it?
If I feel like I would have been probably the. Go ahead, guys.
I would have been fearful avoidant.
Yeah. So
the,
you
the
was
hot,
like
the hot and
get-
cold,
stay
the
away.
like, oh my
I can
gosh, I'm
see
getting
that.
too close. I'm gonna back up. Yeah.
Yo, I can see it. Oh, I can see it. That's what
Definitely
we are
me.
very different. And that's the one I said. I said my girl is dismissive avoidant. Okay, yeah.
That's
I would have been anxious.
I can see you also being fearful
Ooh.
avoidant.
I would have been anxious, preoccupied.
Anxious,
Really?
preoccupied.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I
I didn't
can
know
see
we was
that.
that similar.
I can see
So
that.
I'm like a less mature version of you, maybe.
Maybe. Hold on. What was anxious again? Anxious, preoccupied.
I'm a younger, less thick.
Anxious,
Jet.
preoccupied with what?
Anxious, preoccupied. Relationships can often make you feel anxious, unsafe, or insecure because you likely have a subconscious fear of abandonment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That would,
Yeah.
be,
Which
that would have been you.
Yeah.
Could probably stem from like your father not being
For
around.
sure.
maybe.
I had-
like everybody who doesn't have both their parents there has some kind of abandonment
I
issue.
definitely had abandonment issues for
Yeah,
sure.
and I know my abandonment issue comes from not growing up with my mom, but I had my father, but not having both parents. I think you automatically have some abandonment, you know.
Yeah, it definitely took a lot of work for me to move away from the abandonment issues that I had in that attachment style.
Mhm.
And it wasn't even because of like dating other women, and I just wanted to be better. Like I didn't like how I felt.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel good always feeling like this woman's gonna abandon me or she gonna leave me.
Yeah.
Or like self-sabotaging it because if she gonna abandon me, I'm gonna leave it first so I ain't gotta worry about that shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just wanted to be better in general. Before I didn't even know really about the 4 attachment styles until maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So
I think I think it's twofold. I think a big part of it for me was I just got tired of that limbo phase or that kind of vague stage. And I also got tired of being treated like a doormat. I've just gotten a lot better about saying, here's what I need. Here's how I feel about things, you know? Which in the past I would have just been quiet about.
I mean, a lot of
Much
that
more
comes
quiet.
down to like just being comfortable communicating your feelings, you
Yes.
know, and that's not easy for a lot of us. I don't think a lot of people are comfortable doing that, and I think the people who think they are initially
Mhm.
are just people who are comfortable just blurting out whatever and saying it. Doesn't mean they do it in a healthy way.
Right.
They just say it. Oh, yeah, I say how I feel, and then you're gonna have to deal with it. Doesn't mean it's
That's not good
it's
communication.
not good communication,
If that's
right?
your response, that's not good
Yeah,
communication.
you know. So what did y'all actually score? Like, which one are yours in general? I thought we
So
briefly
we
talked
took
about
2
it.
separate tests.
The first test I hated.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
did not like. And the first test, I got
See,
a
we
different
more like-
attachment style.
We more like you want to admit.
Mhm.
Still want to admit. We more like. I was like, something's wrong with this test. I was reading it. I was taking this
like,
test.
this
So let me
is
ask you a
not
question.
right.
So what did y'all get with the first test?
The first test, I think I got dismissive avoidant.
Ooh, what'd you get?
I got anxious attack. No, I got something. I don't remember. But I was like, okay, I guess that's it. But
see, that's why y'all ain't like that
no,
test.
but no. Here's the thing.
Because it was like
No, all the questions were all like
geared towards your parents.
your child shit.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
very hard.
And I had,
But-
I had to really think about the answer because I'm like, I don't remember this as a child. I was
right.
42.
It was tricky. Trying to like tap
Yes.
into that was tricky for
yeah,
sure.
so I'm like, I could be
Yeah.
answering this
And
completely
it was
incorrectly.
all based on that. If you didn't have like
Yeah.
no parents, then what? Like, but I guess you got some caregivers, so it will be whatever you experience with whoever raised
What
you.
did you get on the first test?
I didn't do the second.
Oh,
one.
you did. Oh,
But-
that was your
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to do the
anxious,
second one.
preoccupied. Was your
Anxious, yeah, which is the anxious one is
was
anxious
what
on the
you
other one.
had
Yeah.
from the first one? Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's what I am.
Somebody-
You scored
It's
pretty
pretty-
high in the secure.
Someone sent Ebony
securely
that
attached.
test. Yeah. So on the second test, that I sent that I actually scored. I'm going to my gallery. I screenshot
I'll send it to her.
Send me the link.
I scored. So I tested as securely attached at 64%, and that felt more right to me because
Yeah.
I am pretty confident in my relationships. I'm not the jealous type.
No.
I don't have an issue like communicating my feelings or my emotions. And so that felt more right to me. So that's why I scored. I felt in a securely attached.
Yeah. Also, the part about experiencing difficulty when relating to those who aren't as secure, I definitely
Yeah. And I
like,
can see that too.
will go
Because
through these challenges when I meet somebody or I'm dating somebody that
I don't want to deal
they're
with your
just not.
weird,
And I'm just
avoidant,
kinda like, I don't know what's going on with you.
I don't like your
Like,
anxious, avoidant
Yeah.
bullshit, whatever weirdness.
I don't like your hot cold
Yeah.
bullshit.
Secure obviously would be more attracted to secure because it's like if I don't have the problem, but you do have the problem,
Yes.
I gotta work on your problem. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with.
It's hard. It's interesting because I was like 34% securely attached, but I was 29% dismissive avoidant.
That's a pretty high number though.
I know they're very
That's a pretty
close
high
together.
29% dismissive avoidant. Do you feel that's accurate?
No, I definitely feel more securely attached now. There was something. The intense emotions can feel overwhelming and can cause you to pull away from others. There was definitely a period in my life where I was that way for sure. And maybe I am still a little bit. I don't know.
I think it all depends on like the type of relation. I said the same thing about the love languages. I feel like it really depends a lot on like the last experience that you had, whether or not it created a traumatic experience in your life that made you feel like, well, damn, this person never spent time with me, or they were giving me hot and cold, and I didn't know what was going on. I just feel like it all plays a factor. So my question is,
they couldn't click the link.
Ebony got a
Remy.
question.
Well, huh?
Go ahead. But
What's
Ebony
the
got a
question?
Okay, so Ebony's question is for the secure folks who moved into secure recently. Was there some type of life trigger or relationship trauma or therapy that caused the switch? Basically, what do you think happened to shift your attachment style?
I mean, for me, I really I believe in trying to make yourself the best version of yourself possible, right? For the next person. I feel like unless you find your person that you're going to marry, I feel like we are all learning in that experience to get better for your next person that comes in your life, so you're the best version of yourself. So for me, I always just do self-reflection. I say I want to be a better person. Like I want a healthy relationship. I don't want to continue to fail at these. I don't want to be the reason why they continue to fail. And so how do I do better? How do I understand my person? How do I learn to understand my person?
Yeah.
Whoever I'm with, and adapt. So one of my things that I always say, we need to learn how to be moldable. Right? I'm easy. Like I don't mind learning from my woman. I want to learn from my woman. Teach me, show me how I can love better, be better. So for me, I just did the work to be more secure. And that doesn't mean that we don't have insecure moments.
Yeah.
I think we still have insecure moments sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
So what you're saying, Jay, is that from each relationship that you were in, you took little nuggets of like, okay, this is where I fucked up, or this is what I don't fucking want no more, and just carry that with you to the next relationship.
Yeah.
Until you got all these nuggets, and you're like,
a chipmunk.
you're secure with the nuggets.
Yeah, with fat old cheeks that you hold on to. So what about you guys?
So I've always been very secure in the sense, like I've never been a jealous person. Like I was never the type to snoop through the phone or check in on my man or put a leash on my man. Like that was just has never been my style. But on the flip side, I've also been a pleaser. I've also been the one to be most flexible, most adaptable, most accommodating in a relationship. And
that can be problematic too.
I got tired of that. I'll just be honest. I just got to a point where it was like, you know what? I'm going to start talking more about the things that I want and the things that I need and how I'm feeling about certain things that somebody says or does. I'm just not going to be quiet anymore. That was just kind of a decision I made. Hey, Melissa.
So what do you think, Remy, keeps you from being in a secure type?
I mean, my history, because I've changed a lot in like other ways, but as far as just the kind of person that I am, that hasn't changed very much. Like I've matured, obviously, but I just still carry a lot of problems. Does that make sense? Like a lot of the things that were problems are still difficult for me to deal with. And you know, I think a lot of people kind of get out of that space through like therapy, but that hasn't necessarily been something that I feel has worked for me. But I haven't done it like long term. And I don't. What else do you do besides that? Like read a book, I guess.
You know
like what are the so I guess that'd be my question to come from this is how what are things that you could do to transition? So like for anybody in the comments, if your attachment style is like secure, you know, what do y'all think? Or if it's not secure, what's holding you back?
So as someone who has never done therapy, and I have nothing against therapy, I actually think this year I'm going to do it just to talk in general, just to talk. But for me,
and there's different styles of therapy. You had whatever your means of therapy was.
I literally had to. I read a lot of books. I read a lot of self-help books. I read a lot of things that. I identified a lot of things within myself that I no longer wanted to be associated with. Yeah. And so I just continued to do the opposite of those things until it became natural for me to not be that anymore. But I also listened to my friends, and they said, well, you know, Jay always does this. Right. Or Jay does this. Right. Like if it's just one person who says it, you can kind of brush it off. Yeah. But if it's like 2 or 3, 4 or 5 people who say it and they've never talked,
common denominator.
There's probably some truth in here, right? So let me work on this shit and try to get better.
A lot of people don't know they're a common denominator.
It takes a big person to like be open to that because there are some people who are just not trying to hear it.
A lot of people go through the same shit in every goddamn relationship and they don't do nothing different. They like, no, that motherfucker was the problem.
Right, exactly.
Hey, didn't you post something about that today? Is that what you posted?
I did.
Hold on, let me find this post. Go ahead and talk. I'm gonna follow.
So one of the things that helped me was solace.
Solace?
Spending time just by myself. And I took a break from dating. It was just me, myself, and I. Yeah. And just doing a lot of self-reflection, a lot of figuring out what I want helped. It's helped, and it's going to continue to help me in my relationships moving forward because now I feel much more confident in knowing what I want and who I am.
For sure. That solitude and being comfortable in your own solitude, your own energy, your own space. It should be at the top.
I thought it would have been at the top.
Yeah, it's at the top. It's at the top.
All right, okay.
That mirror is hard to look in, Ebony.
This is 2 hours ago. Jay said 11 days into 2023 and y'all done relapsed about denying being the problem. Hashtag help them, God.
Help them, God. Help them, God.
So silly.
You know what?
Help them.
I'm funnier on paper. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, like, I'm one of those people.
I get it though.
I'm one of those people that I'm a thinker.
Yes.
And I think about the silliest shit and I can write it down. But like in person, like he's way funnier than me. Like in person, because he can do it off the cuff.
I get it. Yeah,
I can't do it. I can't do it off the cuff.
Like I articulate much more. I articulate better on paper.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to.
And in person, I'm like,
yeah. I used to feel like I used to like blog and stuff like that. And then now like I tweet. And for me, tweeting and posting like what I think is funny is just kind of second nature. I do it and don't even think about it.
That's so
when I'm funny in person, that's when I feel it. When I post it online, it doesn't even.
Funny.
Thank you.
So
you goddamn right I am.
How much weight?
Hey, that's that anxious avoidant right there. That's why I'm funny.
How much weight should we put behind these love languages and these attachment styles? Especially if they all can change depending on where you are in life, right? Yeah. Because they all seem to be very flexible.
Look,
so how much weight should we put behind this stuff?
I know people don't like labels. I get labels can hurt our feelings sometimes, but we label ourselves in a lot of ways anyway.
That's
I mean,
true.
one day we got to do an episode about zodiac signs because that's a label.
Ooh.
Because that's a hey,
Bring
hey,
me back
hey,
for that
hey.
one.
Because I'm black.
What are you, Gemini? Yeah.
Because I'm black.
Yes.
That's a label. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a woman. Because I'm a man. Because I'm this. Because I'm. Those are labels that we adopt.
Societal
So these are
constructs.
like supposed to be like
Yeah.
constructive labels. This is a way of saying like, okay, well, how do I relate to other people? How do I what gives me life? You know what I mean? So I feel like people should pay attention to it, just like we pay attention to fucking zodiac signs.
I think they're good, like things to have in our toolbox,
Mhm.
but I don't know
Yeah.
how dependent we need to be on them. I think they're good, like starting points.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people will read these things and let them be like the rule.
Well,
right?
you put
And
yourself
it
in a
can't be-
box.
yeah, it
if
can't
you
be
do
the
that,
rule.
you know.
So I just think we should definitely take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here's what I can here's what I can see myself identifying as, and I think it is something that I can do better with, or accept it for who they are, right? Because these are attachment styles, and who's to say I don't want anyone thinking that secure attachment is the best attachment,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Yeah,
true.
because that's not necessarily the case.
You
I mean,
know?
it is though.
You know,
No,
is it though? Is it?
You know,
I mean,
you know what it
they
is.
shouldn't have any negative stereotypes about them. They are what they are.
I mean, what could be a problem with having a secure attachment style?
We're too
What do you
hard on
feel?
our partners or potential partners.
Because sometimes we don't understand why they're not secure in a relationship.
Yeah.
So maybe like unempathetic,
or
like a lack of empathy.
or too
Yeah.
nonchalant.
Yeah.
Too nonchalant. It's like, well, you don't care if I'm here or not. I mean, I
Right.
care you here, but I ain't gonna lose my life about it.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I don't think I have been in a relationship with a secure person, but I feel like it'll be annoying. Like I'm like, shut your secure ass up.
Oh, you don't care. You don't care about my emotions right now.
Oh, so you got everything figured out. All right, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So I don't want people thinking that the attachment styles are a negative thing. Everyone has what they have.
So that being said, just like how zodiac signs kind of like gravitate towards other zodiac signs, you could kind of think that these attachment sign or these attachment styles gravitate towards other. Just like secure is more attached or more gravitates more towards other secure. So what about the other ones? Like I feel like mine can complement like my fiance's in a way, but it depends on the person, depends on the people.
I think maybe anxious preoccupied could be a good match for securely attached. Possibly because you're constantly seeking that closeness. So maybe somebody that's a lot more secure can be that.
What's
strong
funny about it?
foundation.
So given
True,
that one
true.
is like always feeling deprived,
Yeah.
and the other one is like leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like those are kind of like opposites, and if opposites attract, then you know what I mean.
I don't know, Sarah. I don't know if I believe in opposite attracts anymore. Ebony said she just finished the quiz. She's 50% securely attached. Next was 29%.
Oh,
the rest
Ebony,
of
we're
them
similar. Our top two are the same.
What
I
was
don't
your
know.
percent?
64%.
64.
64%.
Yeah, 64%. Let me just double check.
DMJ.
I gotta do that fucking quiz.
I'm pretty secure.
because I don't even know what my other
64%,
percent.
yeah.
So
That doesn't
okay, so
surprise me at
so
all.
what was your second place one then? Was it
Anxious, preoccupied,
which is the one
18%.
you felt like you used to be? So it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's still in there. It's
Yeah.
for sure.
it's just
For sure.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a better quiz overall because it gives you it doesn't accept that you're just like one and only
Yeah.
one.
So how do y'all think
Mhm.
these attachment styles correlate with love languages?
Oh.
I feel like you got to be a fucking love scientist.
Well, I know.
I get it. I don't know
you gotta
enough
get
about
in the
them.
lab for that one.
I don't know anything about zodiac signs. Like I don't know what makes me an Aries, but I know some people will meet me and be like, "Oh, you are Aries." So
That's-
like I
no,
just
we're
be like,
talking
"All
about
right."
astrology. I'm just talking about the 5 love languages.
Oh,
Like,
love language.
So how do these attachment styles
I
correlate
see
with
what you're
love languages?
Yeah.
Like, for example,
Mm.
does secure attachment correlate to
Any particular love language?
Yeah, does it correlate to like say I don't want to say words of affirmation, but I feel like maybe it'd be
I don't think so.
no correlation.
I can see the other attachment styles maybe but not secure.
I can see words affirmation correlating with like what's the one where you need like validation or an attachment style.
That's anxious, preoccupied.
Like, I can see a correlation between those two.
Right. Yeah, I can see that.
Right. Where it's like, okay, well, I need to hear these words of affirmation. Otherwise, I'm gonna be anxious about the relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, but you could say that about all love languages. If I don't get these gifts, I'm gonna be anxious.
True.
If I don't get,
that's very true. That's very true.
So
that's
I don't know.
true.
Maybe there's no correlation.
So maybe, I'm gonna feel anxious.
Right. It depends on your love language, right?
So no
I
correlation.
always want somebody to put gas in my car.
So no correlation between the two, which makes sense. Which attachment style do you think would be the hardest for you to be in a relationship with?
Secure.
If that person had it. Remy said secure.
Remy said secure.
Remy said secure.
I've been with someone who was also.
That should be the best one though. That should be the best one to.
I think it is for secure. I've been in a relationship with someone who was also mine, also anxious. Was it anxious preoccupied?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in a relationship with someone like that, and we obviously it didn't work out. Like we clashed like a motherfucker because we both over here like needing something from each other, and it didn't relate. You know what I mean?
For me,
I mean, I would have to like learn more about what her attachment style was, but as far as dominant,
I would say mine would definitely be the anxious attachment. No, anxious attachment. Like people who are emotionally distant.
Mm-hmm.
That would be hard for me at this phase in my life or at this point in my life because I want and need a woman who can emotionally express herself and connect with me and talk to me about her shit.
So fearful avoidant would be your.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, because that's the one where the person often shifts between hot and cold because they're confused about their feelings.
Yeah, that would be so hard.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, that would be hard for me. I'm at a place, y'all, where I don't want to subscribe to any societal constructs. I want my woman and I to build our own rules and beliefs. Yeah. And part of that is like her expressing herself so that I understand. I'm not a mind reader, and I'm not gonna try to read minds. And I'm like, I guess she ain't gonna say shit. Well, I'm gonna go and do my own thing, and then that's a bigger problem, right? Yeah. So just tell me the problem, like what's going on. Let's deal with it and figure it out so we can just move on in love, and I can eat that pussy later, and we be happy.
Uh-oh. Not eat that pussy.
Listen, let me tell y'all something.
Melissa is a unicorn. She got 25% in all of them.
Yeah,
is
that's
that
wild.
true, Melissa?
That's wild.
How
you did that? And how many questions it was?
16.
16 questions. Then she got
somebody lying.
Four for each one.
I don't know. Melissa's pretty special. I can believe it. I can actually believe it. I could believe it.
Let's see. Is there a way for these styles to be affected because of traumatic relationships? So let's say like currently you are secured attachment.
Yes.
And you get in a relationship with a man or a woman and
it's terrible.
And it's terrible and it causes like whatever. It's just a bad relationship.
Yeah.
Could it change your next could it change your attachment style?
I think so, depending on the level of trauma. Absolutely. What do you think?
No, I think so. I mean, I think if you end up being secure, if you are a secure person and then you end up getting someone who makes you question your security, it makes you insecure about your relationship and cheats on you or mentally abuse you or physically abuse you or go through your phone and shit.
Yeah.
I think that it definitely can cause you for your next person.
Hurt people.
That is the truth.
Damn, fuck your whole attachment style up.
Right? And some people set out to hurt the most secure people.
That's true. It's true.
Like, oh my God. So Melissa actually did. She sent me a screenshot. She scored 25% in all 4.
Nice.
You're a unicorn.
That's my goal right there because I love that. That's dope. What does that mean? We got to have a conversation. I got so many questions.
That's a term that I've started to hear the last couple of years that I wasn't aware of. That Ari just said trauma bonds.
Trauma bonds.
I've been hearing that term the last couple of years. I had never thought about
What can
that
you
being
explain
bonded.
what trauma bonds are?
So you just bonded. You're
bond?
bonded by certain types of trauma that you've had. So you like
method lessons.
This person likes to be verbally abusive. And so you're also you're attracted. You've had that verbally abusive person, so you think this is love.
So it's like yes.
So you're bonded by that. So you're attached to this person. It's like okay. So I had these trauma bonds where you continue to date the same kind of person or whatnot.
Do you have a trauma bond?
I've been single. I've been single for a long fucking time.
How long have you been single?
Probably almost 6 years.
Really?
Yeah. Now I've done a lot of dating.
That's how long I was at my last job. You've been single for as long as I've had it. Wow. As long as I've been a web developer.
I've done a lot of dating. So it's not from a lack of trying, but I know what I need.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to date a woman who is not going to accept me who I am. And but I want a relationship. Like I'm not scared of a relationship.
No, I don't imagine that you're scared of a relationship.
I just I want it to be the right one at this point in my life.
Jay,
what are
you scared of?
I'm scared of my heart being broken.
What are you afraid?
I'm scared of the tragic experience of the woman breaking my heart. No, I'm not scared. Like I would be in a relationship right now today if I met the right woman.
What do you think the challenge has been?
I can see that you're a little anxious, avoidant. I can see it. Like, I definitely believe that you're secure, but I can see the glint of it. And it's because it's something I can identify with. You know what I mean?
I mean, for me, the issue has been that, one, as y'all know, I don't really subscribe to religion at all. And I primarily only date Black women. And most Black women are very religious. And that's changing. That's changing. And so for a lot of times, this has not worked out in my favor for that. And then, I'm a pretty open-minded guy. I'm not your traditional Black man.
Yeah.
And I think I bucked a lot of societal constructs.
So let me ask you, because it's been 6 years and you have mostly focused on dating Black women. Have you now considered maybe opening yourself up to dating outside of your race?
I have thought about that a lot, actually. I have thought about dating outside of my race. But to be honest with you, I don't want to.
You don't want to?
I don't want to. And I think love is love. Like, I don't care who you love. Get it where you get it. But for me, I love Black women. And I love Latino women, too. Don't get me twisted. I like them both.
You might say Jay has a secure attraction to Black women.
Yeah. So I don't know. So it is what it is. It's not from a lack of trying. Like I'm actually out there trying.
It might be time to dip your toe in another pond, sir.
I got trust issues when it comes to white women. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
It doesn't have to be white.
What is it? What should it be?
It could be Asian.
Indian.
I do like Asian.
Do Asian women like Black dudes?
Yes,
I
see Blasians all the time, so there's something going on.
I guess something going on. Yeah, actually,
but
I know some Black women with Asian men, but
I
don't know.
I also don't want a submissive woman. And Asian women and Indian women tend to be a little submissive.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
You mean more submissive than
like?
And there's a spectrum. Obviously, least submissive is gotta be like Black women and like. Hispanic women,
100%
submissive.
Least
in the middle,
yes,
you probably got like white women at the very least,
correct.
And then on the other side, Asian,
correct,
Indian.
correct.
As far as we can tell,
and that's changing. Yeah. But so anyway, it's not about the J. It's not about a J experience.
Sorry,
let's move on.
It's good conversation though.
Shout out to Gabby.
She got
secure. Wait a minute, Gabby.
33% secure. Okay.
Wait a minute, Gabby. We got things to talk about.
So is it on us to accept someone's attachment style, or is it on them to try to change from it?
I feel like accepting is the only way you're gonna move forward in a healthy way with that person.
Mhm.
I mean, because you can't make them adapt. That's something they got to figure out for themselves. There's nothing you can do about that. And more than likely, you being with that person is going to keep them from moving because they're like, well, I'm with this motherfucker. I think the time that you grow, obviously, like we talked about, you go in, you do the relationship, and then you leave with the nuggets. You got to leave. You know what I mean? You have to get out of a relationship. You're not going to grow in a relationship. You're like in it, and that's what you're doing.
I totally agree.
So,
I stopped trying to change men a very long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard though, right?
I think you can provide.
You can't change nobody, that's for sure.
You can't change anybody. You can be present for somebody's change.
Yes,
like you can be around while they're changing, but you can't choose that. You can't make it.
You can't
force it.
Support change. You can even help guide change, but it has to be up to that person.
You know what it
say,
is?
I want to be better. Or
true. I agree. They have to say they want to be better, or identify the problem and be like, okay, this is causing an issue in my relationships. And I know that he or she is not going anywhere. They're not trying to abandon me. So let me learn how to overcome this issue that we're having.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just feel like sometimes, a lot of things can be going right.
Ebony said, "How far outside the race?
How far
outside the race?"
Ebony, don't discourage him.
Listen. Honestly, if I'm keeping it real, I don't always feel like black women love me. I'm just being real.
Ooh.
But I'm not giving up on black women.
So you
say that again?
I said I'm not giving up on black women.
No, that's the part before.
Black women don't fuck with them.
I feel like
black women don't fuck with them.
Don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, but that's just what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now,
let me clarify. The black women that I have tried to talk to
and real quick,
have not fucked with me.
And real quick, the religion thing.
I understand it's not all black women. Right.
Yeah, of
but
course,
the religion
there
thing.
Are some black women out there that want to fuck that.
Right.
Fuck me. They trust me. I know.
But the religion thing has also been a big part of that too, because a lot of the women that you fuck with don't fuck with you because of things like religion. You know what I mean?
Sure. For sure.
That's
I've
really
been on that side of
unfortunate
it too.
to me, and I'm not trying to shame or.
I'm just telling you my
anything about anybody's faith.
Religion is strong in the black community.
It's amazing to me how many people allow religion to get in the way of things. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I had a woman that I dated last
That's
year.
That's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other conversation.
That literally told me that I was everything that she had asked God to bring to her life.
I've been there, dog.
But because I wasn't a Christian, she couldn't date me.
Listen, that is where I live.
I said, this don't make no sense. This doesn't make any sense.
That's so hard. That's so hard.
So yeah.
That's just real. Oh, look at Justin got 36% securely attached. Yeah. Okay, Justin.
What was
but
your
he
percentage?
also scored high in Fearful
of
Avoidance.
You said 64.
So y'all have any other thoughts on the 4 attachment styles? Do y'all? That's what I talked about. Do y'all think some of the attachments are bad? So no, we said we don't think they're bad.
I don't think any are bad. No, I think in combination with one another.
Right. Depending on which one is with another one, then it's problematic. Some of them need to stay the fuck away from each other.
Some probably need to stay away from one. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Have y'all ever been the issue have your attachment style ever been the cause for someone ghosting or disappearing or not working out? Like, have you ever said, oh, damn, I can see how this attachment style of mine could have caused the issue? Probably.
Yeah. Because what I've noticed since I've kind of fallen into this more secure space, and you commented on it earlier, like, if I don't like something, I'm just kind of like, okay, that's, it's almost like a kind of nonchalant. It's not that I don't care. It's just like, listen, do you? I'm not. I'm not gonna put up a fight.
Yeah.
In my past relationship, the last time I was a fiance, that relationship, I felt anxious. She felt anxious.
Yes, Ebony, I have met you.
So we were both anxious people, and in that situation, in my mind, I'm like, well, at the very least, if I was stronger, this probably could have worked. If I was just like a more secure individual, less anxious, then I feel like I could have worked through this. You know what I mean? That's how I look back on a lot of those issues that we went through.
Yeah.
I wonder if a lot of this falls into confidence though. Like I feel like a lot of my issues in my younger days,
it all correlates.
I just wasn't.
It
Yeah.
correlates.
I wasn't confident, right? I wasn't confident.
Yeah.
I wasn't confident in who I was. I wasn't confident in who I was trying to be. I wasn't confident in my looks. I wasn't confident in a lot of things. And I think that confidence just correlates to like, okay, well, because I don't have confidence, I'm not secure in believing that this woman actually wants to be with me, or that she's not go out and do different things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, I think a lot of it came down to confidence. And as I've gotten older, I'll be 42 in a few weeks. It's just like,
You're old.
yes, Cass, I am
I'm
older than
kidding.
you. I am older than you, but I've gotten wiser and more. And
Yeah, whatever. You see my grays? My grays are really popping through.
Shout out to that man's birthday coming up.
I know.
About to make some moves. Finally got your boy on the trip.
What's the countdown? How many days? How many days?
I haven't counted down yet. Countdown. February 2nd. I'm going to Colombia.
That's what we're doing while we
So
on the break.
I'm planning on getting some pussy.
Oh,
Getting some pussy in the off season. Some birthday pussy in the off season.
Just be safe.
It's gonna be a good time.
Don't let these girls take you, okay?
I'm gonna come back married. Married.
It's gonna be like a 90-day fiance.
90-day fiance. Any other? Yeah. Anyway,
and this is the third annual birthday trip. Even though we started like
I think this is the fourth one, isn't it?
It's the third one.
We went to Panama. We went to Costa Rica,
and then Colombia. It didn't happen twice.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do something here local as well. All right. Any final thoughts on the 4 attachment styles before we move on?
No, I really enjoy learning more about it though. I didn't know a whole lot about the attachment styles, so this was fun. It was a fun test.
You like those better than the 5 love languages, or you like the 5 love languages
I like
better?
the 5 love languages better. The 7 love languages I really like.
Oh, my correction.
I'm really attached to those.
Yeah, I gotta go back and look through those.
Melissa said Colombian pussy.
Somebody need to write a book.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm a little worried about our friend.
Pussy will turn your ass
I'm a little worried about our friend here.
He ain't coming back. He gonna be like, yo, I live in Colombia now.
I
just need you to come back safe and STD free, okay?
He gonna leave the hotel. He gonna leave the hotel, sign an American, come back like a fucking Colombian drug lord. Like,
yeah, right.
This is where I live now. What?
This is where I'm at.
Who is this? Have a hat on. And he's just gonna walk in a robe. It's just gonna be a silk robe. Where you coming from? Where you coming from?
Full blown Spanish speaking.
You're about to be turned out. You better be careful.
Yo, y'all can turn me out here in Florida too. Y'all just let me know.
That's funny.
All right, method heads.
It's gonna be fun to observe.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna move. So, if you have any final thoughts on the 4 attachments, she said she likes the love languages better. Which one do you like better?
Then I like
4 attachment styles or the 7 love languages.
I feel like the 7 love languages is more granular, like, and it touches on some similar things, but it touches on everything in a positive way.
Yeah, I was say that's the thing. This is the negative.
This one is like what is a little bit fucked up with you. Like this, it's letting you know that, which I think also zodiac signs kind of do. It tells you like a little bit about what's fucked up with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think is essential. So maybe I like the attachment styles better.
I am all for the 7 love languages. Excuse me.
Dang, man.
This thing too. Let's move on. I'm blowing your breath, blowing your face next. Let's move into our final segment of the show, what we call the method message.
Method. Wait,
what? Method lessons.
No.
Come on, man. You don't know the segments.
I've been drinking.
The method massage. Let's move it on to method lessons.
Reading is fundamental. Now let's get on with this school thing. You teach.
If y'all know what that's from, let me know. So this is a segment where we talk about something we learned within the last what the fuck ever, and we do the show every week, so it should have been the last 7 days. I learned this week. If you give me a moment.
And here's the thing, we're gonna do something different. If you're in the comments, if you learned something this week, call the show right now. 813-966-9758. 813-966-9758.
I like that.
Call in. Tell us what you learned.
That's a method remix.
We're gonna end the season with a call in on something that you learned this week. It can be anything you learned. Actually, anything you learned it's a brand new year. So anything you've learned since 2023. All right, Ray, what's the first thing you learned?
So the first thing that I learned this particular week
Don't
because I was
y'all be
not
sending me no nudes either.
searching. Yeah, Jay been talking about getting nudes the whole fucking day. As soon as he got here, he was like, I need some more
I need some
nudes.
damn
So
nudes.
send Jay some nudes. His birthday coming up.
Cash,
If he don't
you
get no
send me
birthday nudes,
Thanks.
You know,
listen.
I'll send you one.
Thank you.
Hey,
I need it.
I'm gonna send
Hey, you
you
gonna
one.
show it to me, Jay? No, I'm just
No.
okay. So I learned this week. Have you ever heard the term? I guess it's a term. Dinkwad.
Dink?
Dink. D-I-N-K.
Like D-I-N-K?
So, in the comments, if you heard what a dinkwad was, let me know. Because this is the first time I heard
a
it.
very white people word. Just
Dink for
Right.
sure.
So when I first heard it,
Dinkwad.
I was like, dinkwad? I've heard that. What the fuck is a dink?
What's a I
What's
haven't
a
heard that.
dinkwad? So I guess
It's
it's a
gotta be
play.
similar.
It's a play on
Oh,
that.
I'm on do not disturb. My bad,
So this-
Ebony. Hold on.
So we'll get there. This is what a dink
All right.
is. A dink is
Try again.
double income, no kids, or dual income, no kids. So it's a descriptor.
Oh yes, I've heard
Yes.
this.
Mm.
And then what's the wad? You know what the wad is?
No, it's
No,
wild.
I just heard the dink.
So if you were in a relationship with someone and they moved into your place, you would be a dinkwad
What? So what is the wad?
with a dog.
Wow, what's
That's the wad. So it's a descriptor of like a certain group, like not married, you know what I mean? But we kind of got kids, sort of. You know,
Dual income,
type
no
of thing.
kids with a dog.
Which I kind of feel like I fall in there.
That.
Like I got 2 cats, so I don't know what that will be
A dinkwad.
with 2
They
cats.
could. They should call it dink wop.
Why you say that? Whoa,
With
hey,
a
relax.
pet. With a pet.
A wet?
No.
Oh, I don't know
Hey,
about that. I don't know about that.
Hey, but listen what she just said. She said dink wop, which to me sounds like double income, no kids, wet ass pussy. What?
All right, we got a call
Relax,
coming in. We got a
ma'am.
call
All right,
coming
let's
in. Let's see
talk.
what we got.
Let's talk.
Are you there?
Yeah,
Are you there? What's going
Ebony.
on? What's going on, Ebony?
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Hi.
What's up, Ebony?
My video is a little bit behind.
That's okay.
So I thought y'all were still talking about something else.
No,
We're talking to
But
you
wanna
now.
know what I learned this week?
Yeah, we learned this
Okay.
week.
So I have been very much into this school board bullshit that they have going on with boundary analysis. But
Mhm.
something I learned tonight was there's a thing called the sunshine law. Have you guys heard of sunshine law?
Mhm.
No, what's that?
Mm.
So the sunshine law is if there's a public meeting, like if anytime your public officials are meeting somewhere, it has to be open to the public. And if there's any kind of conversation that happens, any topics that they're like, basically they can't go behind doors and decide how they're going to vote on any one particular issue without the public being involved in that conversation or having access to that conversation.
Wow. Has that been around for a while? The sunshine law?
I think that it was some, of course, this is Florida and people do a lot of shady shit. So it probably happened because people were trying to, come together and decide how we're going to vote and not let the public understand what's happening or whatever. So anyway, I've been very civic minded this last week or so because they're trying to change the boundaries and where kids are going to go to school and all this other type of bullshit. So I learned about the sunshine law. So if you ever have interest in public meeting or anything that they're talking about, your representatives cannot have conversations with each other without the public being involved.
Interesting.
Did not know that. We all learned something today. We get a little
That's
hand
a
clap
good
for that.
one.
Hey.
A little bit of a departure from the tone of the conversation.
It's
but
okay.
That's a
We-
good
Yeah, I'm
one.
over here with my
Appreciate that.
dinkwad, and she like, no. She like, no.
Well, we
There you
definitely
go.
appreciate that.
Appreciate
Love you, Ebony.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, you my best friend too, by the way.
She hung up on you.
Melissa says sinkwop, single
Oh,
income.
single
with a
income, no
plan.
kids with a
There you go.
plant. I
There you go.
like that
Hey,
one.
did you just make that up?
She's creative.
Just make that up.
She is in advertising after
All right. I
Dinkwop.
like it.
Ebony. Cass, what did you learn this week?
So I'm gonna stick with my word of the day theme.
Word. I need
Because I got another good word.
a microphone. I need a microphone.
She's
for
trying to
this.
take my word crown.
Microphone word of the day.
Yo. How come I couldn't get that announcement back when I was doing words?
Because I started word of the day.
I've been doing words. They know I've been doing words. I taught this podcast what a munch was. I told everybody what a munch was.
My name is Bennett. I ain't in it.
All right, go ahead. Word of the day.
Word of the day.
Okay, the word of the day, guys, is boondoggle.
Okay.
Boondoggle.
I like it.
Boondoggle.
Yo, you know what that
Sound
remind me
familiar.
of? That remind me of
Boondocks?
what was it of? A lodestar?
Oh, load. I love
Okay, that
I
was
love
last week's
Lodestar.
word. Okay.
Boondoggle. A boondoggle is a wasteful or impractical project or activity that usually involves public money or labor.
A boondoggle.
It's a boondoggle.
How do I use
Say
that
it
in a sentence? How you use it in a sentence?
Critics say the dam is a complete boondoggle, over budget, behind schedule, and unnecessary.
So basically a fuck up.
Boondoggle. I like that word.
Yeah, a boondoggle.
I don't know if I like it more than lodestar.
Yo, say boondoggle in the sentence again. Like, can I say this
Critics say
motherfucking
the
boondoggle?
dam is a complete boondoggle, over budget, behind schedule, and unnecessary.
So
But
that's
baby,
some
you
bullshit.
are boondoggling the
It is a-
situation
it
right
is a
now.
noun.
It's some bullshit.
It's a noun, so it could be a person.
It's some bullshit. A boondoggle is some bullshit.
You are a boondoggle right
That's
now.
that boondoggle right there, man. So you be doing on that
It
motherfucker be on that boondoggle.
It sounds racist.
It does sound a little racist.
Boondoggle.
You can say it on you can say it on
boondoggle.
network TV.
Look at that boondoggle going down the road.
This boondoggling ass nigga right here. Come on.
That's a good one.
Oh,
All right.
wait, Justin learned something. Scroll. There we go.
What you learned, Justin?
What'd you learn,
Justin
Justin?
learned this week that eventually the Milky Way will eventually collide with
Oh.
another galaxy, and the sun, the solar system, most likely will be thrown out of the galaxy into deep space by
Holy
itself.
fuck.
What?
What?
Well, you know what? We're gonna
Why
be
would you
long.
learn that?
We're gonna be long and gone.
Yo.
That's
feel like-
scary.
What's this sign?
And that's happening in when? 2025? Like,
I feel like he's Aquarius too. I think I'm lying on that though.
What?
We into that astronomy shit.
Oh, you like astronomy too?
That's it.
The galaxy stuff.
What ain't astronomy and astrology the same thing?
What is what?
Ain't astronomy and astrology the same thing?
No.
No.
Come on, it's from the stars. It's from the stars.
I mean, there may be some parallels.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. So here's
Oh,
what
Justin's a Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Don't fuck with them
I knew that.
Scorpios.
Them
I heard
Scorpios are scary.
I heard Scorpios are.
We gotta do the
Amazing
science
individuals.
episode,
I'm
man.
not gonna go
Listen,
there.
man.
We gotta
Listen.
do a science episode.
I vow to never date another damn Scorpio woman.
When we come back, can we
I
do a
heard
science
Scorpios
episode?
are freaky.
They are freaking high sex drive.
Can we do a science episode when we come back?
For sure. For sure.
We're
All right.
coming
So
back in February, y'all.
So
This
here's
is
what
last episode
here's
of
my
the season.
lesson for the week. Of course, it's a TikTok video.
Yes, let's do it.
The moment that you're triggered, I believe one of the first things you've suggested is you take a moment of pause.
Yes,
and
you stop and find out what you would have to believe is true about yourself in order to have the triggering experience. Because you wouldn't be triggered by someone saying something that had nothing to do with you, that you couldn't relate to. So the idea is to find out, why are you relating to what they've said or done in a way that seems true about you, when you know that you don't necessarily prefer it to be so. Again, it's always wise to make sure that what is being reflected to you is not something you need to pay attention to change yourself in a way that you might prefer to. But generally speaking, those ideas that trigger you into the fear are for the purpose of taking that moment for what it is and exploring what you would have to believe is true about yourself in order to have that particular fearful reaction. Because you wouldn't have that reaction if you automatically knew that what was being said or done wasn't true.
So that hit me kind of hard when I heard that, right? 'Cause I always talk about triggers and like how we should be healed from our triggers. And he made a good point. You know, he said like, you wouldn't be triggered if you didn't believe that it was related to you.
Yeah.
So take a moment when you feel triggered and explore why you feel that way. And I think that's key, because I think we all do get triggered sometimes.
For sure.
And we always say, well, I'm triggered, I'm feeling some kind of way, and we react a certain way. But if it wasn't true, if we didn't relate to it, we wouldn't be triggered.
That's true.
Right? So we should definitely take moments to understand why we feel triggered and explore that. And I thought it related very well to our attachment style topic. So the question I was going to ask y'all, how do you react when you are triggered? How do y'all react when you are triggered?
It depends on if I feel like I'm in control. Like if I don't feel in control, then I'll say something rude.
Really?
What do you mean? Like what do you mean if you're not in control? Like I don't understand.
Like if I just don't feel good that day, or maybe I'm having a weird day, whatever. Like if it's just not, if it's not the day, and you say something to me weird, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what we doing then, and I'll say something rude back, and then it becomes a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting. So almost confrontational.
I mean, for me, it doesn't feel like I'm confrontational. For me, it feels like I'm reacting.
Okay.
Like I'm just like,
well, you are reacting.
Yeah,
you are reacting.
And for me, it's like I feel like the energy I received is the energy I'm gonna return. And if I feel like okay, okay, for example, today, I got a reaction. Today I got a base reaction. Here's the thing. So let me put it all on the table. I had caffeine earlier today, which I felt like kind of was fucking with me a little bit in its own way. Like I had to get through meetings, so I needed it. But at the same time, I'm different on caffeine. I know that. So on the caffeine, I encounter my partner, and we just have a little tiff.
Okay.
I just get a weird reaction,
and it triggered you.
I was triggered.
But my question is this: what in the tiff was a trigger though? Because it's important to know what made you feel triggered.
To me, so in that moment, the thing that triggered me didn't feel like it had to trigger me. Does that make sense? I didn't feel like I had to like dwell on it. So when it happened, this is what I did today. Today, I was like, I feel a way about that, but I'm gonna just drive. And I just drove. And then you just kind of like it, like the moment just kind of went away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned caffeine. Do you think the caffeine had something to do with it?
I don't know. Maybe
just had your nerves.
I mean, listen,
on alert.
If I have energy, I will fight.
Oh, really?
If I got the energy, I will fight. I usually won't fight because I'm tired. I'm like, I ain't got the energy for this shit. Listen, I will not fight nobody after 9 p.m. If it's 9 p.m., nigga, we going to bed. I ain't talking to you. We going to sleep.
We'll talk tomorrow though.
Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. I talk to you first thing in the morning.
How do you normally react when you're triggered?
I shut down.
Like immediately in that moment, you got kind of like
more nudes.
Because I actually almost immediately go to a place of why did that bother me? Why am I being so instead? I'm not a confrontational person unless you get me to that level, which is very hard. There's not a lot that triggers me, but usually like if I do get triggered, I shut down because I'm like, okay, I don't know how I want to respond yet, or I don't know how I want to react yet because I'm trying to understand why do I feel so offended or hurt or upset in this moment by what this person just said to me or did.
Do you ever go back and bring it up though? Or do you just let it go?
I'm the type of person to usually let things go. It depends. If it's something that sits with me for a long time, I have to talk about it. But if it's something that I can like sleep on and then I'm like, okay, it really just wasn't. I'm one of those, I definitely pick and choose my battles.
Yeah.
Because I hate conflict.
Yo, we are so different. I love bringing it back.
Like opposite, really?
I mean, not like
my
I don't.
Gosh.
If I'm in my right mind, I don't want to, but I will.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, what about the? You know what I mean?
Oh, you're
like,
that guy.
No. So I was watching this. I was watching this sketch comedy show on Netflix. It's called Astronomy Club, and it's all black, but they're doing like sketch comedy. And fuck, I'm losing my train of thought. What are we talking about?
We were talking about triggers.
What about you,
so
Jay?
for me, I
forgot my thought.
When I'm triggered, I tend to just take a step back and take a moment and ask myself, am I really upset about this?
Right.
Or is it just like a little ego bruise, right?
Yes.
And so I tend to be like, I will say that I will tend to take a step back. Like my energy might change for a little bit because I feel like, okay, this person, maybe I didn't explain my triggers, And so I remember I was dating like a couple women ago when I was dating. She used to always use the word, "Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so cute." And then it'd be like me saying like something endearing.
Yeah.
Right. But for whatever reason, the word cute in that way made me feel triggered.
Right. Really?
I felt like it was very condescending.
Really?
That's some man shit.
I'm just being honest. And I felt really
I
being
get that.
condescending right now.
I can see that.
Like,
I can
what the
see
fuck
that
is
as
you
well.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
And so the first time I just kind of let it slide. I was like, okay, I felt some kind of way about it, but maybe it's not that big of a deal. But then she kept doing it and I kept feeling triggered. So I just talked to her. I said, look, it's not a big deal, but maybe we can find a different word that you use for this kind of situation. Because I get triggered because I feel like you're being condescending.
Okay.
Right. So I've got to a point where I just kind of talk about it and try to become better at it. But I always try to take a moment about it. And you can get triggered so many different ways, right? It doesn't have to be in person, you know. You can be triggered on social media about a certain topic or whatnot. And it's like, okay, you know what? I need to. So, yeah.
Well, what's interesting about that for me is, so I use cute a lot.
We're about to fight right now.
Also, so I have a girlfriend. She hates being called bitch. I use bitch in an endearing way.
Yeah.
So I try to watch myself when I say that to her. But so sometimes, like, also I try to keep in mind when getting triggered whether or not this person is intentionally trying to trigger me. You know, because a lot of times I don't think that's the case.
That's not. Yeah,
I think it's harmless. I think it's just the person being the person, and they're not realizing that we have all these different buttons and that they're pushing them.
But that's why it's important to express
that's
it.
So crazy. I say cute so much.
Like, don't call me cute.
Man.
Don't say, oh, that's cute. Like, call me sexy. Something. Don't.
I ain't done nothing
so
cute.
What word would you use?
Fucking my little boy. I'm a little boy.
That turn me on. Something. Don't
little
say
boys are
I
cute.
do say sexy or handsome.
Kids are
handsome.
cute.
Don't say cute. Like, cute to me.
I'm a grown ass man.
Especially if I say, Cass, I really miss you, and I appreciate you seeing you yesterday. And you say in the text, "Oh, that's so cute."
Okay, you know what my response would be, and you tell me if this would trigger you.
Mm-hmm.
My response to that would normally be, "Oh, you're so sweet." Would that trigger you?
That's sweet. Sweet is not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's
because sweet has a mostly
that would
positive.
Absolutely be what I would say.
Yeah.
I guess it's better than cute. It's better than cute.
I feel like you hear cute used more sarcastically than you do like sweet. Like back in the
like
day, you probably heard
rejection.
sweet.
It's like a rejection almost.
But sweet is mostly good.
Wow, that's good to know. I never.
I'm just talking about for me. I can't speak for all men.
I can understand.
Ebony said she doesn't like cute either.
Don't call me cute.
And I'm sure I've said cute to her plenty of
What
times.
am I, a fucking bunny? No, I'm a grown ass man.
Oh, or when people respond to something, I do that too, Ebony. I feel like you're calling me out now.
When we're interesting.
I say that too.
Interesting.
Wait, you hate when people respond to something you say with one word?
I definitely say that.
I think so.
Like when somebody says something, sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting."
I think a lot of times
she doesn't like when you do when somebody does that.
I think we say interesting because we don't want multiple reasons. One, we might not want to cause a conflict. We have a different perspective.
Oh yeah. That's what I say.
A lot of times, that's why I use that word.
Yeah, oh, that's interesting.
Because I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying. So I'm like,
that's
all right, I don't want to argue with you.
You don't want to have
a discussion. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's like saying, yo, that's fucking crazy. I got some thoughts, but I'm not doing that right now with you.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
It is a neutral word, and Ebony, that's why I use it a lot of times.
Interesting is like the word.
Yes.
It's like saying, oh,
but it also
okay.
It also can come off as like disinterest. It could be
for sure.
Interesting, like sarcastically.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of times I'm not.
Yeah,
I am disinterested. Like I don't care enough.
Interesting.
A lot of times I don't care enough to comment about it.
If they look at you and their eyes don't change and they say interesting, like they don't give a fuck what you're talking about.
I know.
If I have a glossed over look,
my eyes don't change at all. No,
I definitely say
now. If I say it in a text message, I mean it. Like if I text interesting, I usually mean that means I read what you said, processed it,
yes,
and I that's cool.
Yes,
that's cool.
Like I really don't have anything to say about it.
Right. There's no like.
So I don't. What
like
else?
honestly,
I'm not.
I don't have a dog in this fight.
I can see how, I can see how it could be triggering, especially.
But I'm not going to leave you on. I'm not going to just leave you on red. Like I'm just not. I'm not going to not say.
But
anything.
if I just said, if I just said a whole ass paragraph or something, and all you say is that interesting.
No.
Like, bitch, are you talking to me or no?
But check this out.
Am I in this conversation by myself?
This is my version.
Am I carrying the conversation?
This is my version of interesting. I feel you. I feel you. That's my version. That's what I say. But you feel that, right? If I say I feel you, you're not gonna be like, come on, man. Because I'm like, I get you, dog. I get you.
Like, right?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I would say probably my version to know I'm interested is if I say like, wow, that's crazy. Or wow, that's wild.
Wow, that's wild.
That's crazy. That's so dismissive for me.
Interesting. Passing over my call. Oh, Ebony. I mean, not Ebony. Melissa.
What did Ebony
she
say?
Said Melissa, the thumbs up is triggering. And then she said, passing over my comment.
I can see how. Isn't it interesting though how in the age of social media,
the thumbs up is triggering. Like in person,
in the age of social media,
in person for sure.
Y'all are getting a little too sensitive for me.
No. If we're talking,
yes,
and you be like, I'm about to go do a thing with the thing, and I'm like you do you think I'm interested? Do you think
You mean in the text message?
No, physically.
He's talking about
That's not what you're talking about.
I'm not there. I'm starting with this. If I do this in person, but look,
you're a clown.
No, listen. But I'm saying,
yeah.
You ain't never seen the commercial with the little boy. You ain't never seen that shit.
Nah.
There's a gift. There's a gift where he's doing. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it. He's checking. Okay, so that translates to the emoji. If you do this, it means I like this.
Yes.
But it could also mean I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Like, good job, bitch. Good job, bitch.
It could.
Nobody give a fuck. It could mean it can be dismissive, but it's supposed to mean. So you know what I've changed to using that kind of moves away from the thumbs up? Just a check mark. There's a check mark emoji, and I'll send that.
I saw you use
That's
a check
my
mark
shit.
today.
That's my new shit because I do feel like this can be off-putting, and I want, or I'll do some other gesture. Like I've done this a couple of times. I'll send them one of these.
I just feel
I get what you're saying.
I like that one
because it's not a non-reaction, but it's not just a thumbs up.
That's kind of like the I rock with you. Okay.
Yeah. If it's social media, if it's social media,
emojis now,
then I'm just going to I'll give you a thumbs up. I don't want to have a whole conversation on your thread, but it is what it is.
What doesn't work for me is what I think Instagram and most of the sites do now is just a heart, which is a red heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you double tap in Messenger, it's a heart. A lot of so that to me is a little too strong. I don't love what you're saying. I don't love it.
A heart.
Like there needs to be like I vibe with that emoji, and that's it. I'm rolling.
I use a heart emoji on guys' posts to make them uncomfortable.
You do?
You stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like, love. Oh no, dude, love my post. Oh no,
see, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I do it.
I can't.
Oh man.
Listen,
you can't. I can't give you a love signal on your comment without you being gay.
If you post something to me in Messenger, I'm not double tapping it. It's not happening.
I'm double tapping all that shit.
I'm gonna send you a thumbs up.
I'm gonna start doing the rock sign.
Yeah, I like
rock
that.
out sign. Yes.
Well, hopefully, y'all, if you get triggered, man, take a moment and think about it and understand why you are deciding that triggering it relates to your life and whether or not you want it to be part of your life. Because a lot of times when we're getting triggered by something, we don't want it to be part of our life anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And so I know when I get triggered, which is not too often these days, because I've just learned to just turn a lot of things off or take it out of my view. But if I am triggered, I just think about it and move on.
I have a question though, because I feel like some of the things that people were talking about and that we were talking about could maybe actually fall under pet peeves, not triggers. And what is the difference?
Say it again. Sorry, I was reading the message.
I feel like some of the things that people were talking about and that we were talking about could actually be categorized as pet peeves.
I think the difference
I think so.
And not necessarily triggers.
I think the difference is a trigger is like, I'm going to fight about this right now.
Okay.
Whereas a pet peeve is like, that's fucking annoying, but whatever. I'll get you next time.
A trigger is more personal to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that like hits me to my core.
For
Whereas
sure.
a pet peeve is something like you said, I'm just mad annoyed by.
Yeah, like this is stupid, but whatever. You just keep doing what you're doing. And maybe you bring it up later. Like maybe after they do it 5 times, you're like, all right, this is the 5th time you ain't took out the trash, nigga. Like, what's going on? Like, you gonna have to take the trash out at some point.
But isn't that a pet peeve though? So for me,
that's not a trigger.
So for me, a trigger few years ago used to be like seeing on social media all the not all the women, but a lot of women talking about like, oh, you ain't a real man if you ain't doing this, and this. And I used to get triggered by that shit.
Shout out to the real man.
I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, how you gonna tell me what the fuck a real man is? Like, so I used to get triggered.
Shout out to
but I had to learn that, you know what? They just not my people. They're not my kind of women. They're not the women.
You don't fuck with me if you put me out of the real man circle just because of this bullshit.
So I think that's a trigger. I think those things are triggered when it's like something
this little bullshit that you came up with that you reposted. Fuck that.
But yeah, you get out the shower walking on the floor wet is a pet peeve. It's not a trigger.
Yes.
You know what I mean? People don't get up. So yeah.
Justin said I'm triggered by people. That's a pet peeve, Justin, for me.
People
who like their own posts.
People who like, really? I don't know anybody who does that.
People used to do it all the time because they thought that if you like it, it would get into the algorithm.
I'm gonna start doing that. Then I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm gonna do it just because you mentioned it. I'm gonna start doing it now. You don't follow me on Facebook, no way. Shit.
All right, man.
I don't think you do.
Y'all are friends on Facebook, I think.
No, we're friends. We're friends.
So
yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Yes,
so
we are.
This is our final episode for season 3. It's been a great season.
We're gonna take a picture today. Let's please not forget to take a picture.
Kat, what you got planned for the rest of 2023? Anything big?
Well, next week I will be in Utah.
Going to
Utah.
Utah.
Very excited.
Nice.
And then I have a few more things lined up. And then I need to sit my ass down for a little bit. Because I've got like back-to-back trips coming
I will wait for my nude on February 9th.
Whoa.
Okay, thanks.
Whoa.
He did not forget that, dude.
Hey, you said what you said. It's on record.
It's on record.
On record.
It's on record. Record.
Did
but
not forget.
Listen, he's not going to show it to me, but he's going to tell me when you sent it.
He's going to describe it in great detail.
Yo, she sent it. I'm like, you going to say that, and I'm going to know. All right.
Maybe
That's
not.
funny. That's funny.
No, we definitely enjoyed being on for this season.
What's the day? The 10th?
I've enjoyed it,
Can we talk about our first week of 2023?
Sure.
Like, how has that gone for y'all?
The first week?
First week of the Jordan year. How has it gone?
Everybody said air horns.
Air horns,
I don't know.
man.
I don't know which one. Hold on. I gotta get back to it. This one right here. Everyone loves air horn. I don't know why.
It's a party, man. That shit is when you put it on the right shit. Yeah, like behind some music. That shit box.
Too funny. What were you about to say?
First week of 2023.
Oh yeah, first week of 2023. How has this experience gone for you? And is it what you wanted or expected or whatever?
I actually haven't really done too much in the first week of 2023, man. I just really been trying to stay focused on what I had my goals for last year. I'm probably making some changes here this weekend back towards buying my house, but I think I'm moving from Brandon.
Okay.
But we'll see. But first week's been good. I mean, I don't really have any complaints, man. I mean, 2022 was a great year for me, to be honest with you. I had a great year. Wasn't stressed about money. I wasn't stressed about just work. So I didn't have a bad year last year. So I'm really just I will be continuing.
Yes. There you go.
The process of having a good year and working towards my goals. I haven't really done much yet. I mean, I just been working out.
Week 1.
I've been consistent. It's the second week, technically, right?
Is it the second week? Oh, fuck.
So we're in the
We are
11th,
in
right?
the second week. I mean, it's been more than 7 days.
Yeah.
So
I've had a good workout. Like I've worked out. I think last week I worked out 5 days, and this week I'm 3 for 3 so far.
Nice.
So yeah,
I'd love to hear it.
wow.
Yeah.
So the first week, obviously the first was on a Sunday, so it was actually a full week from the 1st to the 7th.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been one full week of 2023. What a wild way to start a year.
I know.
Started on the 1st. Like, anybody even talking about that? We should talk about that.
How has it been for you guys?
It's been good. It's been really good. It's kicked off in a very productive way. One of my goals was to work smarter, not harder this year, and I feel like I'm off to a good start, or I'm on that path. I've just got to like keep my momentum going.
Keep your momentum.
If I keep the speed that I'm going now, it's going to be a good year. And I'm turning 40 this year.
Wow. Big 4-0.
Oh, yes, Ebony, we did I did my 5K,
saw
first
the pictures.
5K
I
of
was
the
just about to
year
say you a runner, ain't you?
with some of my girls, and I placed in the top 10
Somebody-
females, and I placed first in my age group.
Hey.
Somebody was supposed to give me the details so I could go out there and support, but I ain't saying no names. But
I'm so sorry.
Yo, hey, so you forgot that. She gonna forget the
I'm
news,
triggered.
dog.
I'm triggered.
She gonna forget the news.
I ain't gonna let her.
She gonna
He's
forget.
not gonna let me forget the
I ain't
news.
gonna let her forget.
Well, you shouldn't have let her forget the other thing then.
I told her last week. I said, "Look, let me know when y'all going out there. What time? I'll come out there. and
That
I'll
was
support
my
y'all.
my fail.
That's all good.
That was my fault.
How has your 2023
Come
been?
First week. Okay, so I got a new job. Can I get some air horns?
Yes.
Use some air horns for that.
Some air horns for my new job. And it's
Bumper clock.
It's what? It's that's gonna be in one of them things.
Right.
So it's so different, and I think it's different in a good way. So I'm rolling. You know, I mean, today was like a pretty big day. Like,
Do you like it so far? You like the people
I
you're
don't
working
know if
with?
I like it.
Okay.
But I don't think I need to like it right now. I think I need to just do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's a new experience, and I'm enjoying that. And well, I guess this is kind of bleeding into the second week, but I made a decision to go to Colombia. That was kind of big.
Nice.
Yeah, you know,
at the last goddamn minute. Like I was like, let me fucking
I
let
feel
me
like
celebrate
you
you.
hadn't talked about it, and
Let me listen, because
he wasn't gonna go. He wasn't gonna go.
And if I didn't go, this would be the first like of your birthday trips that I couldn't go on because we didn't go last year.
yeah.
No,
I don't know
we
what
didn't
you
go last
what you
year.
did instead.
I went to New Orleans.
Went to New Orleans. I didn't go to New Orleans. Yeah, but this will be the first international trip, part of that string of trips that I wouldn't have done. So I'm in now. A lot of people in. It's gonna be a good trip.
Yeah, how many people? 11 people. So did you? Are you doing like an Airbnb or is it
We're doing
a
a
hotel?
We got a 5-star hotel.
Look at you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a
Good
good
for
time.
you. I love it.
So yeah, well, we wish you the best in all your endeavors, Cass.
Oh, you too, guys.
I was thinking about you. You know,
Thank you for embracing me and including me in your
of
show.
Of course. If any, we're still trying to decide who's going to be our third co-host for season
let
4.
us know.
So if you're
y'all wanna
interested,
talk
remember
about.
it is a commitment.
But it's a good time.
But
You
it's a
got to
good
be able to
time.
make it to the middle
For
of Tampa.
anybody that is interested or has pondered, do it. These guys are great. It was fun. And
you-
I'm like the biggest commitment fool out there.
You got to be a
Like,
Bucks fan. That's automatic.
You do not have to be a Bucks fan. I'm a
No,
Niners
Jay is
fan.
not a Bucks fan. You a Niners fan too?
Yep.
There's a lot of
So
y'all out
you
here.
have to be a Niners fan.
You know what? But
technically.
you, and that's because you from California. Okay, so I get why you a Niners fan. I don't
Niners
understand why
fan
you like the
since
Niners.
Joe Montana.
Why you adjusted like the Niners? I don't know.
That's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole nother
conversation. Melissa got commitment issues too. But yeah, we're going to figure it
I
out.
volunteer Melissa.
It sounds like everybody got commitment issues.
do.
Are
No,
commitment
it's
issues
worth
part
it,
of
though.
secure attachment? Is that the thing?
Mm.
I mean, is there a correlation?
For me, anything past 5 p.m. is a commitment issue for me.
What you mean?
He knows.
What you mean? What you
Because
mean?
once I get home, once I have a taste of home and my couch, it's hard to get me back out.
Yo, them work hours.
I still haven't been on the
Not for
couch
me.
yet. I still haven't been on the couch yet. This
On
nice
my new
comfortable
couch?
yeah.
How you? So you not dating nobody with a 9 to 5? Is what you saying?
Correct.
Wow. All right.
All right.
That's actually correct.
Yeah. All right.
Remy, what are your Cash? What's your socials? What can people find you at?
All right, y'all. Follow me on my. If you want an adventure, follow me on IG at a girl in the hiking boots, or you can follow me on my regular Insta. What is it? Cass Girl from Cali. Cass from Cali.
Cass from Cali. I
I
like
don't even
that.
know my damn handles.
I almost went to a.
Cali.
I almost
Cass
went to
from
a high
Cali.
school called Cass.
Really?
Almost. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Remy, socials.
You can find at A Method Podcast at A Method Podcast everywhere we at on all the goddamn social platforms. We on TikTok and Spotify and all of them, everything. We might be on Netflix. I don't know. We on a lot of things. So follow us, share us, show us as much love as possible. We about to be out of this motherfucker for at least a month. So you can go back and watch old episodes. We've been doing mad shows. We got 15 shows from this season alone. week to week. We do this every week, and when we come back in February,
we
we're
might
gonna be
have
doing
some
this every week.
method unscripted come popping up here and there, but
yeah, if we feeling it, you know what I'm saying. If something happened, like if Will Smith slapped somebody else, we gonna do an episode about it.
I am also going back into producing podcasts. So if you have an idea for a podcast and you need the equipment, you can hire me to produce your podcast. And we can do that. I'll show up and we'll do that shit and we move on.
That's true, but we are not free.
We are not free.
Thank you, Eb.
You can follow me at the J Noetic on all the major platforms. That's going to be TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. But I'm only on TikTok for the most part. Well, Facebook too.
Yeah.
Facebook is kind of personal, but mostly TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until then,
I don't give out my Facebook and my real name ain't on there. Fuck that.
Well, it is what it is. We are taking a month and a half hiatus. We will see y'all soon. We love you. We appreciate you. And until season 4.
Yeah. Hit us up on social media. Let us know, you know.
Here's the last outro.
If y'all see us in the streets, get a picture. You know what I'm saying?
They say the liquor make you talk quicker. We say M is for
mostly.
E is for
everybody.
T is for
talking.
H is for
honestly.
O is for
over.
And D is for drinks. Mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks.
Right.
Till next season.
It's been a good season, y'all. So that was wild. And that was just a taste. We do this every week. Just check out last week's episode.
He's right. That was wild. And you can catch last week's episode, the video episode, on Spotify, all the audio, Apple Podcasts, Anchor FM. We appreciate y'all. See you soon.
Yeah.
It's good to have a woman's perspective.
I do want to rotate in some dudes. Like I would love to have the ride on again. I love having Justin on. Ed, I like having Ed on. I want to get Jason back on at some point. At least like one or two.
Yeah, I don't want to be all dudes though. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah, like,
Yeah.
Like for that, I'm thinking like one of those a month, and then like, because I'm mostly, I mean, I prefer to have like 4 people. That way we can have a mix. But at the very least, if we have a third, it should be a woman.
Yeah.
Because it's already plenty of dude energy in here.
All the women that follow and are in these Facebook groups.
But again.